What's up guys, it's Lightsprowl here, and today I'm bringing you a video where I'm going to be reviewing Khmun, whatever it's pronounced, the Fire Anubis. So it's a Nat 4. Skill ups for him are going to have to either be summoned through mystical scrolls or Devilmons. So first I'll go over the monster's skills, and second I'll go over the key stats to look out for. Third, I'll show you the recommended rune builds as well as my current runes. Fourth, I'll tell you what he's useful in. Fifth, I'll tell you who to pair him with and what monsters synergize with him well. And then that'll be what I show you. So going into the first thing, here's the skills that he's got. The first skill, you can also see my skill ups right here. I have one skill up in the first, one in the second, and 0 in the third. The first skill right here attacks twice, and when it's max skilled has a 50% chance each attack to block heals for 2 turns, and also this does damage according to speed. This skill doesn't do insane damage, but a lot of times the 2-turn heal block can come in very useful, especially in where you're going to be using him, which I'll explain later. The second skill, basically do a pretty good nuke based on your max HP and does a vampire effect where it recovers 50% of the damage dealt, and the damage gets increased when the enemy's HP is lower, so it's good to get the final shot on it. When it's max skilled, it's reusable in 2 turns, so this guy is really a lot better with max skills. And then the third skill, which is passive, is kind of what he's known for. Every time he gets a turn, he will give your ally with the lowest HP a shield worth 20% of his HP. So if you have a lot of HP on him, you can get a pretty decent shield on them. And with skill ups, it just makes it so it's a 26% shield instead of a 20%. So skill ups are also very nice on this. And then the leader skill is also very useful. It's attack speed in Guild Wars by 24%. So this will be a skill that will come in super useful with what you're using him for. The second thing I want to talk about is the key stats you want to go for on him. You can see my stats right here. The key stats you want to look for on yours is you want a lot of HP because his shield is based on his HP. His second skill will do damage on his HP, so you want HP. The other thing you want is speed, because first skill will scale on speed, but also since he has the speed leader skill, that might give you a hint that he synergizes well with speed. So speed is also helpful, and it also makes it so you can get the shield out very often from his passive. The next skills or stats you want to look for is the crit rate and crit damage. These I don't put high priority on, especially the crit damage, but crit rate is super nice to make it so the second skill can do significant damage and heal yourself up. And then the last stat, which I didn't get very much of at all, is accuracy. I wouldn't put huge priority on this, but the first skill can heal block, and where you're going to use him, heal block will come in handy sometimes. The next thing I'll talk about is what kind of runes to use on him. So you can see here mine's on Blade, Guard, Will. It's not really the best runes in the world. It's not the worst runes. First of all, I think the best set for him is Vampire. I'm aware that his second skill already does a vampire effect, but if you add vampire runes on top of it, he heals 85% of the damage dealt. But vampire really just gives him the most use, and because you're going to be using him in really long drawn out fights. But so vampire, and then the offset can be either destroy, it could be will, it could be energy, shield, endure, focus, basically whatever offset you want, even blade if you wanted. I think vampire destroy or vampire will is really the best way to rune him. The next thing I'll talk about is where he's useful. So he's really good in Guild War offense, Guild War defense, as well as some arena defense teams. Now the reasoning for this is basically for the arena defense, he's just a good stall monster and tank, so you can use him. But in Guild Wars, he's super useful because in Guild Wars, people do tend to do the long drawn out fights. as well as there's only 3 monsters. But so that means that since there's only 3, 1/3 of your team will always have a shield on, and a pretty good shield, as well as since it's a long drawn out, he's just good in long drawn out fights as opposed to really quick like 1-turn fights. That's where he's good at. Also, his leader skill makes it so he can work extremely good with some teams, and with some monsters that are really popular with the speed meta. Monsters such as like Orion and Theomars and Chisoon and stuff. So that's where he's good in. Next, I'll talk about monsters to pair him with to get the most out of him. The best monsters to pair him with are going to be monsters that either provide an attack bar boost, because he does have the 24% speed leader skill, so you can get first turn. It's good to pair him with squishy monsters so that the shield goes on the squishy monster and protects it. It's good with defense type monsters because since the shield is proportionate to his HP, if you put it on a monster with really high defense, then the shield is going to be really hard to break, because like if you put a shield on Copper, since Copper has good defense, the shield will still be worth the same amount of HP, but so the effective HP with the high defense gets way higher. And then the other monsters that are really good with Khmun are self-sustaining monsters, because if you have Khmun on, let's say, Vampire Destroy, which is my recommended rune set, then eventually you could just bring Khmun and 2 other like self-sustain, like drawn out fight monsters, and eventually you'll just make it so they have so little HP that you're gonna win. Good examples of self-sustained monsters, or like monsters bringing to long drawn out fights, would be something like Trevor's, Beast Monks, whatever kind of like tanky monsters you have. I say self-sustain, but it doesn't necessarily have to be self-sustained, just monsters that are meant to go into long fights and not monsters that are meant to go into 1-turn fights. But with that being said, he's also good with like Theomars, just because he's a squishy monster. Really popular Guild War offenses and like defenses with him include Khmun, Orion, Theomars, Khmun, Chisoon, Theomars, like whatever, Khmun, Orion, and another monster that's not Theomars if you want it to be. But he synergizes well, and he's really got a good kit, because the heal block will make it so in the long drawn out fights, you can put a heal block on it and the enemy can't heal. So that basically makes it so you can actually win against bruiser comps, because he has a heal block. He has this skill that'll actually do really significant damage, as well as heal himself if you do need it to. And then the passive will make your team a lot safer, especially in Guild Wars since there's only 3 monsters. And then the speed leader skill is something that every monster wants, because the speed meta is so powerful in this game. You want speed and pretty much everywhere you go, but so getting 24% extra speed is also extremely nice. I think that's kind of what I've got to say about Khmun or Khmun or however you pronounce it. And so I wanted to mention that I was recommended in the last monster review I did to maybe record a guild battle or record a whatever it might be, giants, dragons, whatever the monster is useful in, to show an example. And this guy's good in Guild Wars, so I could show you him in Guild War offense, but today when I'm recording it, it's Sunday, so there's not Guild Wars going on. So I'm aware that I could just record this on a not Sunday, but the way that my school and extracurricular activities going right now, Sunday is really the only day I have time to record. So me and my brother basically record 7 videos on Sunday and then just upload them throughout the week. I'm going to be planning on trying to record a Guild War with him on next Saturday. So look out for that if you want to check a video of me using him in Guild War. But if you just want to see him in Guild War right now, there's a ton of videos on YouTube. If you just search Khmun or whatever you pronounce it, Guild War, I'm sure you're going to find videos of examples of him. Feel free to look at those, because currently I don't have a video of him in Guild Wars, but I am planning on recording one Saturday night. Yeah, that's kind of what I have to say for this video, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, be sure to tell me in the comments. Also, if you have any suggestions for my editing style, because I'm still extremely new to editing, please do tell me that too. I've had a lot of helpful comments that I think have made my editing a lot more enjoyable to watch. But other than that, guys, I think that's really all I have for today, though. So may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows.